To Breaking Dawn. Breaking Dawn. Breaking Dawn. So good morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn this morning. My name is Stephan Reis. I'll be with you until 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. And we are going to review something that the Prime Minister said yesterday at the press conference as it relates to crime. I ain't dealing with the stupidity today. We'll deal with the stupidity tomorrow. Right? No, well, actually, we're dealing with stupidity today as well. Because yesterday during the press conference, he said that they would be declaring crime a public health emergency. Right? And they're currently working out whatever framework or however they're going to do it, right? And I was now telling the director just before we started the show, I said, you know, last year November, when the SOE came to an end, I sat here and I told you all, something they said, boy, I can't remember what it was, but it was something relating to crime. And I said, they cannot call a state of emergency and impose a curfew under the Public Health Ordinance Act for COVID-19, again, because it had run its course. Remember, they went the full, and then the full period, and then they extended it. So they went the full course with that. So they couldn't do it again under that because they would have had to go back to the parliament and get special majority. And they would not have gotten the support from the opposition. And I said, but they could do it under crime. And I said, don't be surprised if they call a state of emergency and a curfew and extend the thing under crime, saying that crime out of control. So the layer, but I can't even say they let you breathe because you were still wearing this stupid mask that makes absolutely no sense and does more harm than good. So, as all the scientific data says, but I don't know what science they're following, but stick up in that until tomorrow. So, we are about 7 months down the road, and now they want to declare crime a public health emergency. But we'll find out, I will find out about that, you know. Maybe, I can't call him in the first hour, but by 7 o'clock, I will just make a call and see if Guy Griffith up. And just call him and find out about that, because he was the former commissioner of police. He should be able to guide me accordingly with that. But anyway, to at least say he's a former national security minister, so he'll be able to tell me if that's even possible. So we'll talk to, I'll make that call. In the meantime, good morning to all of our regional viewers and those of you watching us internationally. Good morning particularly to the people of Jamaica who cannot be programmed, unlike us here in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah? So, here we have the Newsday Tobago. And of course, for those of you on social media, good morning to you. STV Breaking Dawn on Facebook and Breaking Dawn HD on YouTube. And you can also catch us on Tego. All right? So we have the Tobago Newsday where the headline is Cyclists Afraid of Trinidad and Tobago Roads. All they're afraid of Trinidad and Tobago roads. Well, the way things going, I suppose a mask could relieve your fear because apparently people believe that keeps them safe. Like a mask is the solution for everything, so just wear a mask when you go to ride on the road. I got to tell earlier. Because that's the next thing they might recommend. Police are no-show after fatal accident. Now, I understand where the cyclists coming from, You know, oh gosh, boy, this guy with the bike shop right up on the avenue, Mike Bikes. You know, I must have him on the show. I think I'll reach out to him and see if we could do something on Thursday as it relates to this issue here with the cyclists being afraid after a few incidents, of course, or continued events, because we had a bad one up on the Beetham some years ago, and there have been other places where cyclists have been, their lives have been lost because of drivers. And I mean, I've always said, if you're doing the speed limit and you're abiding by the rules of the road, it's very unlikely that you will bounce down anybody and to the point where you kill them. You know what I'm saying? So we have drivers that they drive out of control. They just don't abide by the rules of the road. But we'll find out from oh gosh, I'm trying to remember his name. I know it's Mike, eh? Michael, oh gosh, I'll find out from Michael. Sterling, text me Michael's name now. I know you're watching the program. Anyway, we'll find out about that a little later on this week. I'll have them on. In the meantime, on the front page of the Newsday, Trinidad, DPP gives instructions on 2020 Mova triple killing. 8 police officers on a murder charge. 8 police officers on murder charge. Right? So the DPP has given instructions. Mask mandate can return if needed. On what scientific evidence? On what evidence? Which study? Where? Not because the WHO telling the rest of the world to, and I hear him yesterday, but like I said, we go deal with that tomorrow, But if you're saying, just take it as a recommendation. So all you know brains, all you want. So the Alsing do have information as to all these studies, these scientific studies that are taking place and said a mask does absolutely nothing to protect you. And you still always so easily programmed that people walking around the place. That is actually what they tell you, Well, I still want to be safe. Well, let me ask you something. If you're wearing the mask all the time and it's keeping you safe, how you get COVID? Because it have people that wear it and they get COVID, right, Director? So, for those of you who got COVID and you're wearing your mask and you went and take the injection, including the booster, how you get COVID, sir? Explain that. How all these people here in jam naked and stink and dirty and traveling and partying all over the world, but let me just stick it to right here in Trinidad and Tobago. How come all of them jump up, had a ball, all in, where's the next pet that they complain about the noise? Is Josie? Jamishness? Everybody was in Josie Jamishness, and everybody in stink and dirty, and everybody in jam naked, and all the party that went on, including my boat ride on June the 5th. How come everybody alive and well? And they bambaing every weekend. It's every weekend until the end of August. It's every week people partying. How come they okay? It didn't dawn on all yet? Or you're on like a superior level of stupidity that, by the level you're on, people need a cheat code to activate that level I don't know. I am all for it being optional. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to wear one, fine, that's up to you. Just leave it optional, like it is in the UK. That's how it is in the UK, it's optional. As a matter of fact, that's how it is in almost every part of the world, except certain places. Just leave it optional. It should be optional. Prestige Holdings put out a release yesterday that it would be optional. What a way to get your customers back, happy like papi now. After, all the little, condiments raised and all kind of thing, and all the drama that take place there to trip off the customers. So they say, well, here what's going on? Optional. And they're correct. It should be optional. People tell me they went in Massey grocery yesterday without a mask. Nobody can tell them nothing. So Massey have it optional. But after a $73 melon John, I mean, it's only likely that it would be optional to go in Massey with, So, but my point is, leave it optional. If you feel that it protects you, fine. You go ahead. Right? According to the study, it does more harm than good. So if you want to do more harm to yourself than good, you go ahead. but don't subject me to that. And everybody else that don't want it. Let us be normal. You understand? But they program all you to believe that that is normal and this is not. And it really, really tripping me off now. PM says, there is a need to save the youth from life of crime. Action plan for children. Director, you listened to the clip that I sent you? Public health emergency? No, because you should have listened to it. Every single thing I sat down here and said last week, he said, in that little 4 minutes and 34 seconds. So I know all is listening, you know. But they want to play stubborn. All right, no problem. Children's Authority supports U-Report tool for youths. DPP gives instructions on 2020 MOVA triple killings. This was on the front page. It's on page 5, the full story here. I go take them up on that mass mandating, you know, because if it's not mandated right now, you know it's against the law. As one of the callers that we had yesterday alluded to, and I got the law here. It is against the law. It is illegal in the according to Trinidad and Tobago law. It is illegal, and you could be fined for wearing a mask outside of a festival period. A matter of fact, as we in the news now, because like all the lawyers and all these people, like I don't like all of them sleeping on the law. But this is what the law of Trinidad and Tobago says, right? Any person who appears in public, masked or otherwise disguised, except during a public festival at which he is authorized to do so by regulations under subsection 2, is liable to a fine of $1,000 and to imprisonment for 6 months. So if you say you lift the mandate, and it's no longer a mandate, and you're leaving it up to people, for all of you that's still keeping that mask wearing thing in your business, that is illegal. In accordance to the law of Trinidad and Tobago, it is illegal to do that. And then when Ole get robbed and the police reach, well, what the bandit look like? Well, I don't know, he had a mask on. Stupid set of people, I don't know. WASA says lawbreakers have 3 months amnesty to get regularized. They have 3 months amnesty to get regularized. You know, there are people who does, you know, they're not regularized and whatever the farmers they're talking about. There are plenty of farmers that's be going after some farmers, you know, farmers has run the little connection and thing, you know. But that's on page 6. AG meets with procurement regulation chairman. Who cares? All right, North Coast Road now open to single lane traffic. Mom of murdered Port of Spain vendor says, I warned him not to sell on the street. Friend of security guard killed by falling gate calls for answers. Majority in San Fernando keeping their mask on. But let's go ahead. PM says government may cap fuel subsidy at $1 billion. Rowley says I'll send firearms unit report to the PSC and Parliament. As a matter of fact, you know, Griffith put out a release on that yesterday, you know, because the Prime Minister said he had just got the report. It go real bacchanal on this. I have a feeling go bacchanal on this program this morning, you know. I will pick up the phone and call guys. The FUL report, he said he have it in his hand. Doctor seeks destruction of neighbors' dogs over puppy's death. Doctor seeks destruction of neighbors' dogs over puppy's death. Just talking about puppies and dogs dying. What? The dogs that shut down the runway the other day, in the airport, that shut down the airport. What happened to those dogs? Because I got reports, it is alleged, that the dogs were killed. That is messages that I got on my phone. People were telling me, Stephan, you know, to kill the dogs. I don't know if they did. Like I said, it's alleged. But once it started, did they capture the dogs or did they shoot the dogs? I would really like to find out. Or did they just scare the dogs away? No, but seriously, I found that very disturbing that I got that on my and from several people. And that's the only reason why I mentioned it. So if somebody could just clear that up, I mean, what's the status of the dogs? No date yet for start of remedial classes in Tobago. we what, about a week into the holidays and it have no date set for the remedial classes in Tobago? Like I tell all you want your children to catch up, you want your children to be ahead of the game, open minds education, right? From the comfort of their home. All right, in the meantime, we're 15 minutes past the hour, 6 o'clock. No, we're 11 minutes, what are we? 15, so why my computer saying, oh, it now changed. My computer was saying 11 minutes. It probably went to sleep. All right, so let me remind you guys a little bit about Theodophilus, and I'll tell you about open minds too before we go to the break. But if you're having problems, of course, with ulcers, bloating stomach, burning stomach, acid reflux, or IBS, Theodophilus, enzyme and probiotics, you need to check that out, as more than 70% of your immune system is located in your gut. Of course, you can improve your overall health by addressing it at the source with Theodophilus enzyme and probiotics, because a healthy gut is a major step toward better living. So check for it at leading pharmacies and health stores near you. And for more information or to get yourself Theodophilus enzyme and probiotics, just call or WhatsApp 728-0338. That is 728-0338. And just a little reminder about Open Minds Education. So Open Minds Education, they are tutoring private students from preschool to Form 5. All right? They're accepting adults. So if you're an adult and you want to go and, get your education completed, you could do it at Open Minds Education from the comfort of your home. CSEC repeaters. They're taking CSEC repeaters as well. So if you're a CSEC repeater and you want to get there, you want to cross the line in front, you get on to Open Minds Education. All right? Transfer students and all SEA students with any grade. So regardless of whatever percentage your child scored, Open Minds will take them, okay, and bring them from where they are now to a point way higher than where they are. All right? They're going to excel. They're going to get them from point A to point B. Or should I say point B to point A. All right? Yeah, let me say it like that. Okay? So they're going to get your children there. They're going to get your children there and educated, because it's not this traditional way of education. All right? No, it's not like that. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's educational. And they have a different approach to how they do things. As a matter of fact, I agree with the approach that they have. So, Maths, English, HSB, IT, Principles of Accounts, Principles of Business, Spanish, Life Skills. That's the life skills part. They don't just educate your children, but they teach them how to be entrepreneurs rather than employees. They need to add what? Oh gosh, Open Minds director say, they need to add French. All right? Oui. Nice. You want to learn French? All right. French is well, I don't know what's the language or Romance. They say French, they say Spanish. I don't know. Italian and? Yeah, I think so too. Gaming, yoga and mindfulness. So they have all the aspects of life that your children want to experience. So they are also US certified soft skills and conversational Spanish for business, because our Venezuelan community seems to be growing. It's 100% online. So please give them a call at 377-6635 or 388-6635. Or of course, you could register online at www.openminds.education. So sign up your kids today and get them involved with Open Minds Education. All right? It's only going to benefit them. All right? So I'll tell you what, with that, we've got to take a break. When we come back from the break, we'll take a listen to the Prime Minister and crime being declared a public health emergency. And we're going to take your calls and your comments on that. And at 7 o'clock, I will see if I get on to Gary Griffith. and get some comments from him coming out of that press conference yesterday. Maybe as it relates to crime being declared potentially a public health emergency, get his thoughts on that. And of course, this FUL report that the Prime Minister said he has in front of him, which is very disturbing. So stay tuned. I have a feeling we'll get, go get a little antsy in here today.
Unique Group of Companies specializes in complete outfitting for residential and commercial buildings locally and regionally. For 34 years, we have been the premium manufacturers and exporters of high-quality bifold sliding and pocket door systems, fire-rated doors, windows, and architectural moldings. We also supply and install operable louver shutters, hardwood floors, staircases, and toughened laminated glass. Unique Woodworking Limited and Unique Lumber and Construction Guyana Incorporated also supply kiln-dried greenheart, mahogany, cedar, and teak. Our logs are cut and shipped by Unique Lumber Guyana and dried in our computerized kiln at our factory's facilities in Trinidad. Visit our showrooms to see the quality, which makes us unique.
Come down to Adams Optical, where we offer free comprehensive eye exams, and you can also get full single vision or bifocal glasses for only $5.95. We have a wide selection of frames and shades for everyone, and we specialize in contact lens examination. Find us on Facebook or visit us in store.
Adams Optical.
S&S Passat Supermarket is celebrating Christmas in July with a very special summer promotion. Catch this season with the best prices on all holiday items, including specials on ham and grug and much more. And to cap off the holidays, S&S Passat is offering a chance to win a 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive trip to Cancun, Mexico. Just shop at S&S Passat Supermarket, spend $500 or more, fill out the information at the back of the bill, and place it in the entry box for your chance to win. Promotion runs July 1st to August 31st at all S&S Passat Supermarkets, 91 High Street, Rio Claro, 24 St. Anne's, Miaro, and number 3 Guayaguari Main Road, Miaro. S&S Passat Supermarket. Better quality, better prices.
VNS Hand Sanitizer Spray is an easy and practical way to sanitize and safeguard against COVID-19. VNS Hand Sanitizer Spray contains added moisturizers and comes in 3 sizes, including the convenient on-the-go travel size. It's easy to use and effective. VNS Hand Sanitizer contains 70% alcohol and added moisturizers to prevent excess drying on skin while safeguarding against bacteria and viruses that can cause COVID-19. To decrease bacteria and viruses on your skin, try VNS Hand Sanitizer Spray. Manufactured and distributed by VNS Pharmaceuticals Limited and available at pharmacies and other retail stores nationwide.
Miami Carnival 2022! October 1st, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Enjoy all the sights and sound of the last, biggest, and best carnival for 2022. There's no stopping the Bacchanal. Saturday, October 1st, Miami Junior Carnival. Friday, October 7th, Miami Carnival Panorama. Saturday, October 8th, Miami Carnival Juve. And Sunday, October 9th, it's Miami Carnival Parade of the Bands and the Carnival Climax with a massive international soca concert. For all details, including ticket info, log on to miamicarnival.org or find them on all social media platforms. This is the carnival that ends it all. Miami Carnival 2022, October 1st, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Bowlers Motorworks Limited, your authorized collision repair center with over 30 years of collision experience. We are a supplier of new, original pickup parts for that perfect lining up every time. We have the tooling and equipment for lining up of your chassis and body panels to precision. Our employees have been well trained and are always motivated to deliver the highest quality repair, smoothing out those imperfections, expertly masking and protecting unpainted areas, sealing and priming after applying base coat and clear coat. Always giving you high glossy finishes for that spray boot factory look. With our experts in buffing and detailing, you are guaranteed of that showroom feel. Bowlers Motorworks Limited Gasparillo for that assurance of quality every time.
Let me tell you a story about folk, heritage, color, music, food, movement, people, and vibe. Crop over, the world's biggest playground. We love Crop Over.
Don't expect no more than what we already have.
Crop Over.
Everybody! All my crew, this is what I want you to do. Everybody! Jump, jump, something, jump, jump, something, jump, jump, something, jump. Loosen it, push back, push it, push back, push it, push back, push it, push back. Everybody push, push it, push it.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street at Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle from the first restaurant in 1968 when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air. Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the Castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Downers Educational Institute is the top private school in Trinidad and Tobago with 35 years experience and a tremendous student success. One of the most trusted education providers in the industry. Downers offers full-time day school classes for forms 1 to 5 and evening classes for primary level standards 2 to 5, secondary level forms 1 to 5 and also classes for adults and repeaters. They cover the business and the science subjects for CSEC and are one of the few private schools that offer the science subjects physics, chemistry, and biology. Online classes are currently being offered in all areas, as Downers Educational is flexible and can adjust from online school but will currently provide both options. They also offer affordable pricing and flexible payment plans. Downers Educational, located at number 92 Charlotte Street, Port of Spain. Call 627-9491 or WhatsApp 737-8006 and 471-0477. Visit their website, downerseducationalinstitute.com. Email downersedu@gmail.com or find them on Facebook at Downers Educational Institute. Downers Educational, offering success through education.
Ocho. 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 Ocho.
Joe Candy. What's inside counts.
All right, so we're back. And as we return, we want to get straight to it. We're 6:30. Yesterday, the Prime Minister spoke about declaring crime or treating with crime as a public health emergency. And I want to play you what he had to say. So let's go straight to that, and we'll hear from the people. And then at 7 o'clock, I'll see if I get Gary Griffith on the phone.
The police is convinced that the upsurge in criminal conduct and the ability of persons to arm themselves and challenge the state and upset the population in the way that is happening is supported by some shortcomings on the part of the state with respect to the availability of sustained funding for the criminal element through the use of state resources, not the least of which is illegal quarrying, which is funding a lot of criminal activity and spurring the fight for turf and for resources. And the state is going to take the relevant action to ensure that these facilitations are curtailed and eliminated. I did say recently that with respect to breaking the cycle and stemming the flow of new recruits into the criminal element and the flush of criminal behavior from our young people who form significant parts of these minorities that are terrorizing the country, that to break that cycle, that it is the government's intention to declare violent crime as a public health issue, because violence across the society is now the norm, from domestic violence, violence in schools, violence person against persons, armed responses for everything, and of course the gains to be had by criminal conduct where lives are lost and property being destroyed and stolen and so on. It's a whole plethora of violent, unacceptable conduct. This matter, we have started to work on that. Again, having said that, we will focus on it as a public health issue, even before we have been able to flesh it out and to present it to the country as to what actions we take. By the very mention of it, I have seen comments that I as Prime Minister have no competence or training to make any comment like that. But I will ignore that, because as head of the government, my job is to get the advice from the proper sources and to put the relevant people to work. And having said that, I can tell you that the elements of the public service are already at work. Discussions have started and documents will be prepared. The intention is to have, in the context of this issue being raised in this way, that we develop a national plan of action. And that plan of action would be driven by a public health approach. And that approach would involve the defining of the problem. I have simply mentioned that there's a problem. Acknowledge that there's a problem. And if there's a problem, we'll define it. We will identify the causes and the risk factors. We will design a response, and we will test the interventions that we are going to make, and we will implement and scale up the effective interventions and support continuous evaluation. The objective here is to enter the youth population at various levels and to begin a line of education which should steer people away from participation or being desensitized by crime and criminal activity. We believe that if we do that effectively, we would begin to generate a wave of people who will reject crime or be in a position to respond to it from the personal, through the home, through the school, into the wider community. In short, preparing a better citizenry. And in so doing, that approach of so identifying violence and violent crime we will then be creating a society in which that component would be significantly reduced towards the aim of elimination.
Okay. Some of the things he said there, I'll agree with. Some of the things I have a little issue with here. But that's after we take the calls. I have the major issue here is this thing of treating with it as a public health emergency, especially when you have the Health Ordinance Act. But like I say, I'll go wait till 7 o'clock to hear a little more and be guided accordingly. Maybe Gary Griffith will have more information on that, on what could possibly take place there. On a side note, and a little, just a little after, I want to find out if it's declared a public health emergency, when a crime is committed now, who do you call? The police or the nearest health center? The actor said Ghostbusters. 235-5325. So the Prime Minister is saying that they want to enter the youth population at various levels from an educational standpoint in an attempt to educate the youths away from crime and criminality. Now, I have no problem with that. All right? I'm waiting to hear how they're going to do that. But I have one question for the Prime Minister, but we'll hear from the audience first. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Stephan. Morning.
Yeah, man.
Morning, Stephan. We all will. I don't know why that this station giving these kind of talk airtime expensive, because it's the same thing they say all the time. I coulda, woulda, shoulda.
All right.
And this is something that these politicians only bamboozling the population with talk.
Right.
And more talk. Talk to do nothing, Why are you involving in the criminal when you have to go and do something, and they will be put in place to avoid it?
Well, he said, hold on, as you mentioned that, right? Newsday asked about the hope, about his hopes for this initiative compared to the 2013 Professor Selvin Ryan report. No time to quit, engaging youth at risk, plus the 2020 Community Recovery Program led by Dr. Anthony Watkins to curb discrimination, lawlessness, hurt, and anger in at-risk communities. His response to that question was that he said, and I'm quoting here, I'm not talking about reports, I'm talking about action. So he is saying, old talk done, and it's time for action.
They say this all the time.
Okay.
Once politician involved in the police service and trying to solve the problem, it will never solve, because they have no experience in solving crime. That these criminals are experts.
Okay, but
so
let me ask you something. I engage in you here, right? Let's say, okay, forget politics and forget, they say this already, and okay, we're just dealing with the basis of the approach. To enter the youth population at various levels from an educational standpoint, to educate them in a way that they will take another option rather than getting into crime and criminality. Would you say that the basis of the approach is reasonable?
Yes, I enjoyed you. I as a social worker, I'm a pastor, and I deal with children in Sunday school, and look, they're going good. I live in a squatting area of the church here, and I give out things to help the children.
Right.
And we need to realize the home is the place. No nation is stronger than the home.
Okay.
So we need to deal with the parents in the home, men and women.
I think the home and the
because one woman I talk to, she had children for how much? 3 different men. We need to deal with this.
Okay.
And we had Hilton guys here a few years ago that from a commissioner from Tobago.
Right.
He said, "Why we cannot ignore this. Why it is only one type of people is committing the crime." He said that. I didn't say so. So tell me that he was right or wrong.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah. So I hearing you that is only talk and we just only get talk and these political talk. But I'm looking at the basis of the approach to enter the youth population at various levels in terms of from an educational standpoint. So to educate them away from crime and then create opportunities, because you have to create opportunities. We spoke about all of this last week. A matter of fact, everything he talked about yesterday, I laid out here last week. We should have go back and get that clip. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Stephan.
Yeah, man, what's going on?
So the approach to help reduce crime is educating the youths, providing opportunities by which they will not turn to crime and be educated citizens and become professionals in certain fields. That is
what
right?
it's sounding like to me, which to me sounds like a good plan. The implementation is a different thing. But go ahead.
But that is not a new idea.
Correct. It's nothing new. It's
my,
been there.
My lat and my tat and Whitestep and where's the other place? UTT and Civil comes. What's the other one?
Civilian Conservation Corps. CCC. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But this government closing all them things.
Nah. CCC and them running. I think my lad run into, but I think they had cut funding.
They cut funding to UTT.
I think they are downsizing programs.
Mr. Imbud family in charge of that say they know how to go survive. Remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Oh.
You see, my thing is this, right? Because we had to have a little conversation on this. My thing is this. What he's talking about there is nothing new, like you said.
No, it's not new.
But what has to be new is the approach. Because the approach that you would have used 20 years ago is not the approach you can use now. Because the world the dynamics has changed.
By the way, I know you read the papers and so forth, but I know if you come across this, that the Minister of National Security had stated in some press conference he had that they allocated a certain amount of funding to build a school for youths. You have come across that?
I'm not too sure. It's sounding familiar, like it's something that I would have read, but
last week this happened.
Yeah, last week he had a press conference.
A number was put out, but I'm trying to find the information. I ain't come across it. A number was put out to build the school.
I will go back and check it because I still have last week papers home.
But anyway, it's a good approach, yes. But a woman who was the Prime Minister of this country said education is the only way out of poverty.
But we know that.
Everybody know that.
And we just had 60-something% of students get less than 50% in SCA. But say what? All right.
But okay.
Yeah, man. 18 minutes away from the hour, 7 o'clock. We're going again, 2355325. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yes, Stephan, morning, man. On the ground here.
Yeah, man, on the ground. Talk to me. What do you thought about what the Prime Minister said? What is proposed?
Now, since when crime come a public health issue, boy? How long it has crime taking place in this country? Why it couldn't be a public health issue? Everything is a public health issue, you know? So
the program people to accept that, you know. The program people to accept that, you know.
This is what's going on. This is what's going on. It's like the brainwashing people. It's like when I did some people getting mad with this vaccine. You know what they came to this country, but by the end of the day, how come this come a public health issue all the time? They're killing people. How it is? So why they open new venues? Let us say new venues. Open up things. Yes, like the guy who just talked about CCC, Civilian Conservation Corps.
Yeah.
That run by the soldiers.
Yeah.
Yes, it used to help people, right? Stephan, even Marshal Montano was in CCC. And people out who I know was in CCC, Stephan, they become good. When I say good, they get jobs.
CCC program, I have been involved. I've been not part of it or heavily involved, but we used to work on a certain level with them. Mr. Golub, good morning. It works.
It worked. It worked for plenty people that I know who was in broke up home, who was doing little palatef and all kind of thing. It worked for plenty people, you know.
Yeah.
So let them open up venues. Don't wait to kill 10 and 12 people because not a day people. Stephan, nobody already. It can be more scary than this idea, you know, because you ever going on. It's always say this. It makes no sense to watch TV again. There are enough kind of programs, enough activities taking place outside. But Stephan, I have a little question. I will tell me how we could go around this, right? You know this St. Margaret show they tell me about it, say I was there, right?
Yeah.
Good. Last night I went up in St. Margaret's, that is about 7 miles each going up. What happened was that they got trench about 15 feet long on La Luce's junction. They put a steel sheet. The steel sheet have about 1.5 inches thickness. A vehicle coming along the road. When I watch, I see bumper in front. They put nothing there. Put the steel sheet on top of it. And they have about a trench in the front of the steel sheet. about maybe I was 6 to 8 inches deep. The man rim mash up. When I coming back down the road, they take up these steel sheet. You know how fast they come and they take up it and they go with it. Take up these steel sheet. And a vehicle went over it and stick up last time. Why it is Wasal doing all this kind of nonsense? When they do a work, Stephan, do it properly, but they're not even flattening it. They leave it high for vehicles to pass on it, Stephan. Have a pleasure.
Yep, no problem, no problem. All right, 235-5325. Yeah. What's that? Uh-huh. How much, what? How much Panadol you gotta buy? Now that crime is a public health emergency. But I don't know, you should buy a box at least. Start with a box now. 500, yeah. The Ultra, you should buy the Ultra because it's out of control right now. Yeah. You should buy the Panadol Ultra. It's a public health emergency. Just pop a Panadol, right? And the government will run in the next direction. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Stephan. First, you also have to educate some parents, not just the children. And for the 2 years with the COVID, that wasn't a health crime, right? They what they did for us for the 2 years. And Rowley, them educated, and all of them educated in Parliament, and them just commit the most of that crime. You see, in this country, boy, is better. I forget the import and export business is better. You're going to going and coming business. You know, is he going and coming business?
Is he going and coming business?
Yeah, the difference between hotel and funeral home. Because sometimes in this country, you know, if you're going or you're coming. Thank you.
No problem. 235-5325, 14 minutes away from the hour, 7 o'clock. Hey. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My television volume is off. We're still talking about the crime thing?
Yes, the Prime Minister said they would be treating with crime as a public health emergency, and what he said was they would enter the youth population at various levels and use education to steer people away from crime and criminality.
Like, you're forgetting 50% of them couldn't even get the mark to get into a secondary school, but they put them anyway. Anyway, he should call it a national disaster and get the guy from WASA, the Public Utilities Minister, call him, because at least he was able to come out and say he didn't know that leaks could cause low pressure. He was honest. So we need to get him involved, the people with honesty. One thing I would like to see, Dr. Rowley, when he's talking, all I hear is blah, blah, blah. But I heard him say something this morning about trying to identify the problem.
Yeah.
He sits in Parliament with most of them who cause the problems. He sits there with them. And he had somebody in the name of Gary Griffith who was dealing with the situation. And because of his petty personalities, he did not like him. So he got rid of him and all that rubbish. And now we are feeling it. So I really don't know. He just need to speak with his ministers. Well, no, look, don't worry. No, I think I'm wasting time here. He should just let all of them continue what they're doing, which is nothing.
What a mercy, I tell you. Oh, God. Yeah, they hit in this morning, you know. Yeah, they inform. Yeah. But they inform. We take another one. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Stephan.
Yeah, morning.
And this is the same Prime Minister that said that they're not closing on petition.
Yeah.
Why does they have petition for sale now? They could help me try to digest that this morning. Take care.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, well.
Man on the ground here again.
Yeah. Remember. Well, I mean, it's not like it's up for sale now. It was, they try. Remember, Patriotic tried to get it. Roger tried to get it, and they blank him. The dance that man, they make a real clown out of Roger, Well, then they make they're always that kind of clown, but, Morning.
Good morning, Stephan.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, morning, Barpo.
Stephan, you hear anything that the Alsing getting a dual portfolio now?
No, I didn't hear, no.
No, because if crime and thing now is a health issue, he's supposed to be the Minister of National Security too.
Well, God help us all.
Because, now crime don't fall under National Security and Police Commissioner and all these kind of things. So we have to deal with that.
Yeah.
That might be the Alsing second portfolio.
He and
But
Parasram
anyway,
and Heinz will come and give you the graph of how bad the crime gain and which areas.
Exactly.
He can drop a graph, yeah.
so the thing with this man, like I said, anytime you see failures, there is come to try to justify it with more failures. First to begin, he's supposed to ask himself, Rowley, when he categorizes youth into crime, at what age bracket we talking about? If it's an 18-year-old youth, a 5-year-old youth, a 20-year-old youth, because let me tell you something, this country have nothing for young people who in the system to have any faith in, like to say, of value, that I going to spend all this effort and time into education, and then there's nothing for me to go into. So if I become a doctor, a lawyer, or whoever, which is going to be just a small minority, where's the employment for the youth? This is where they're supposed to examine what is available. You shutting down every single thing in the country. 19,000 people coming through the system, which live at 17, 18 years old. Where you have to turn to? You could have all the subjects in the world. Where are the opportunities? Where are the hope? Where are the values for these people and to get into something? So all this nonsense that he's talking about, what he's supposed to say is that, we have created X amount of employment opportunities in the agriculture sector. We have created X amount of employment in the tourism sector. We have created X amount of employment opportunities in the energy sector. That is awaiting for you people who go to school and study and it have hope and a future for you to not to turn to crime. You close down agriculture, you close down tourism, you close down energy, and you keep on closing down. So we're going to have a set of educated youths now committing crime. So all your internet system and all these kind of thing where people never used to hack into and thing, that is different level of direction of crime we're going to deal with in this country. That's to tell you how this man is a total failure. And people accepting he as the Prime Minister of this country. Have a good morning, Stephan. Take care.
Okay. All right, so we're going to wrap up this hour. Now, he said something there that is a start if he's genuine with it. He said, we must first admit that we have a problem. And we have a problem. Okay. That problem didn't pop up yesterday or the day before. That problem here for a while. So, okay. He's admitted that crime is a problem. But here's the thing. He lamented that crime was fueled by illegal quarrying. Now, when I heard him say that yesterday, I think I was convinced at that point that he has absolutely no idea what fuels crime. Because crime is being fueled by illegal quarrying in the country. Crime being fueled by many other things. First and foremost, the state of the economy. The state of the economy always dictates where your crime situation is headed. Because when the economy is bad, when people are not earning or they don't have the opportunity to earn and they don't have a proper salary or they don't have stability, people often look for different ways to earn income. And a lot of the times, it's illegal activity that they get into. When you have youths living in at-risk communities and they are easily influenced by gangs or gang leaders who have the ability to put an illegal firearm in their hand and tell them go out and rob, and when they rob, they get away with it and there are no consequences to actions in the country, that fuels crime as well. And those illegal guns are coming through the porous borders that we can't seem to plug. Although we're just a small twin island republic, there are countries far larger than Trinidad and Tobago that have those things under control. But we are a little island, small, so a little dot, and we can secure our borders properly. So you got to be kidding me, right? So we have all of these little elements that contribute to crime. So I was a bit taken aback when I heard him lament that crime was fueled by illegal quarrying. Where do we get that from? Illegal quarrying might be an illegal activity that's taking place, but it ain't fueling crime. All right? So I think in order to tackle the problem, you must engage the youth. I think there is something that we need to do with the education system, because we've been saying it for the longest while. It is failing, and the SEA results is just a reflection of that. So I understand what you're saying in short, because I press for time. I understand what you're saying. I understand that this is the approach you want to take, but I am waiting to see what is the actual plan. Because you could say that you want to enter the youth population at various levels to educate the youth and steer them away from crime. It's not what you plan to do, it's how you plan to do it. So I'm still waiting to see how you plan to do it, because we've been talking about this, engaging the youths in the community and that kind of thing. And then you have to create opportunity through certain programs and stuff, because not everybody's academically inclined. Some people might want to learn a trade, you know, but there has to be a place for them to go after they learn that trade. Where are they going to go if there is nothing there? Then they're just going to fall back into that negative element, which is crime and criminality. The other aspect of things is I did not hear him mention, like, okay, for you to tackle this, you have to have criminologists going into the prison and talking to people who in there, people who have committed crimes, and find out why they committed the crime, why they committed the crime to have them locked up. You understand what I'm saying? You have to pick the minds of the criminal element. Because obviously, if you think that illegal quarrying is what is fueling crime in the country, then you don't understand why people are committing crimes. So you need criminologists to go into the prison and do their job, which is pick the minds of the criminal element. You know what I mean? You have to start there. You have to know why people are committing crimes. You understand? You can't just come and say it's fueled by illegal quarrying. You got to find out why. What made you do what you did? And then you go from there. You know what I mean? Anyway, I ain't have time to get into all of that. But we'll see where they go with this. But I'll see if I get Gary Griffith on the line after the break. And as we go to the break, I want to remind you guys, the Creative International Cuisine Cooking Course Cycle 3, the advanced classes is on. So if you're a budding chef, a foodie, or you want to start a career in culinary arts, this is definitely for you. You'll experience hands-on Italian, Mediterranean, novelty, Portuguese cuisine, desserts and pastries, taught by some of the most experienced chefs in Trinidad with international backgrounds. It's a 5-week course. It runs Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Ramsing Plaza in Chagonas. And on Mondays, it's August 22nd to the 19th of September. On Wednesdays, it's August 24th to the 21st of September. So you could sign up for the Monday classes or the Wednesday classes. The cost is $3,500. All raw materials will be included. There will also be a certificate of completion awarded, and there is a payment plan available. So you could contact Chef Shiraz on 3724639. That is 3724639 or 737-5097. 737-5097 for more information. All right? And with that, we take a break. When we come back, I'll see if I get Gary Griffith on the phone. Stay tuned.
ostomy care is a unique and intimate condition that can seem challenging for individuals afflicted by it. However, at Better Life Ostomy Care Store and Clinic, they understand and offer a full range of products that will allow you to lead a better life. From colostomy and urostomy pouches, paste and powders, antibacterial wipes, Brava strips, deodorants, gloves, gauze, bed liners, and much, much more. Better Life Ostomy Store and Clinic is located at number 4 Mosque Street, Caroni. Give them a call at 308-6709 or 472-5878 or find them on Facebook. Better Life Ostomy Store and Clinic, servicing ostomates with a better quality of life.
Join us at Open Minds Education for 100% online tuition from the comfort of your own space. Start your little ones at our fun and engaging preschool and infant classes. Primary school students experience a relaxed mix of academics and extracurriculars that make learning real. We accept all SCA students regardless of your score, so sign up now for CSEC Math, English, IT, HSP, POA, POB, and Spanish full-time or part-time. Register for our CSEC Repeaters classes for Jan and June 2023. Come and learn with the most amazing, dedicated, and qualified teachers. At Open Minds, we care about your mental wellness, so you enjoy yoga, mindfulness, and gaming. Call or WhatsApp us today and enjoy learning as it should be. 377-6635 or 335-8567.
Nabby's Trading Company Limited, dedicated to providing time-honored medical supplies and pharmaceuticals. They offer numerous products in general healthcare, such as breathing apparatus in the form of oxygen concentrators and mesh nebulizers, needles, syringes, and injectables. Also at Nabby's, you will find a wide range of home healthcare products such as commodes, wheelchairs, and diagnostic machines. They even have surgical consumables, specialized women products, and rehabilitation aids for all your needs. Doctors and nurses can also find products for their use at Nabby's. Nabby's Trading Company Limited is also the distributor for the Cook medical line of products within the Caribbean, which offers the use of minimally invasive devices for surgeries. You can now purchase from Nabby's Trading Company Limited via the website www.ntcltdtt.com for pickup at their showroom at number 5 to 6 Harris Street in Europe or for delivery via TT Post. Find them on Facebook for immediate contact and updates, or call today at 645-5577 or 662-7533. Nabby's Trading Company Limited, your trusted provider for all medical supplies and pharmaceuticals.
S&S Passat Supermarket is celebrating Christmas in July with a very special summer promotion. Catch the season with the best prices on all holiday items, including specials on ham and grug and much more. And to cap off the holidays, S&S Passat is offering a chance to win a 3-day, 2-night, all-inclusive trip to Cancun, Mexico. Just shop at S&S Passat Supermarket, spend $500 or more, fill out the information at the back of the bill, and place it in the entry box for your chance to win. Promotion runs July 1st to August 31st at all S&S Passat supermarkets. 91 High Street, Rio Claro, 24 St. Anne's, Miaro, and number 3 Guayaguari Main Road, Miaro. S&S Passat Supermarket. Better quality, better prices.
Next page, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week at South Haven, baby. Next page, we have the bakes for you, so come try our menu.
Yeah, we got chicken and chips, ice cap, refreshers, waffles on a stick. We got shark and salmon, shrimp, lobster, and the kingfish. Just come take a taste of the sweet life. Come send your taste buds to paradise. Hey, it only takes one bite, yeah.
Next page, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week at South Haven, baby. Next page, we have the bakes for you. So come try
this is Ravi Free alongside Chalana,
representing from Next Bakes.
Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Get the
free bottle of Panadol Silver with every purchase over $500. Treat monkeypox with Silver King 30 ppm, Panadol Silver, and damaged skin with ozonated olive oil. Get well with Fountain of Life. Silver King eye drops for cataract removal. L-arginine and L-citrine, the double barrel arteries cleaner, and treat cancer with Silver King Allergen Vitamin B17. Lion's Mane for dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson disease. Hydrolyzed collagen for joints, bones, skin, and nails. Silver King Kidney Stone Remover. Get your colon cleanser detox. Velodram, the testosterone booster. Coffee Nema for constipation. Contact Dr. Love Health Store, PTSD Transit Mall, Quezes San Juan, San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago. Call 366-4058 or 478-9222. Also 356-4479. Check us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and our website, drloversea.com.
In 2023, we get ready for Vetopia, the ultimate carnival on the sea. All-inclusive cruise. We leave from New York City on April 16th and head all the way to Bermuda and return on April 23rd. Performing live, Tamika Marshall, Nyla Blackman, Skinny Patrick, Irvin Al, Mandela Lynch, and Robin Tribe. Some of the wonderful events that await you on board: the meet and greet, the Hawaiian pool party, neon meets white party, carnival costume party, Juve party, the retro party, Rip the Runway Gala, and flag party. For more information, call 954-385-0504 or 646-309-6089. We leave from New York City and head all the way to Bermuda 2023. Vetopia. Book now at www.vetopia.com.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Leisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Leisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Leisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
Woman, I love you. Yeah, you have your own style. I got to love you. You know me love you. Yeah. Hey.
Redemption, the return.
Yeah.
Saturday, August 27th. Featuring live out of Jamaica.
Taurus Riley live, I'll be there.
Taurus Riley, Saturday, August 27th at the Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain.
Watch it up. Tell them that it's human nature.
Luciano Sanchez, Richie Spice, and Taurus Riley. Redemption, the return.
Just the way you are, girl. You don't have to change, you don't have to do a thing.
Alongside Trinidad's own Ziggy Riken and Isasha. Early bird tickets are available now at $350 general admission and $750 special reserve. Get your tickets now at all Cache clothing stores nationwide, Rennie's, Shoe Shop, High Street, San Fernando, and online at ticketfederation.com/redemption the return.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerators, parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. So pay them a visit today at either of their 2 locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Mayor Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
We're back. All right, so as we return, let me just remind you guys about Kyodophilus here. I'll call Guy Griffith. Let me see if I get Guy Griffith. But Kyodophilus enzyme and probiotics for IBS, burning stomach, acid reflux, bloating, and ulcers. You can get effective relief with Kyodophilus enzyme and probiotics because more than 70% of your immune system is located in your gut, so you can improve your overall health by addressing it at the source with Kyodophilus enzyme and probiotics. A healthy gut is a major step toward better living, so look for it at leading pharmacies and health stores near you. And for more information or to get yourself Kyodophilus enzyme and probiotics, just call or WhatsApp 728-0338. That is 728-0338. Now, on page 9 of the paper this morning, because I know the Prime Minister Stein this morning, He's Stein. All right? Prime Minister says, quote, I'll send firearms unit report to PSC and Parliament. Very interesting report. The Prime Minister said he had just got the report, an investigation chaired by retired Justice Stanley John on an alleged bribery racket for the firearm user's license in the police service, and vowed to forward it to the police authorities and to lay it in Parliament in summary form. Dr. Rowley, of course, but Dr. Rowley went on to say, quote, I should tell you, I have just received the report of the examination of the firearms unit of the police service, which was being done by a group of persons that you were told about before. And that report makes very disturbing reading. Notwithstanding the best efforts of some of my deranged parliamentary colleagues, I intend to send that report even before I'm finished reading it. I'm going to send it to the Police Service Commission and then let the chips fall where they may. And the PM said the report's executive summary will be laid in Parliament as soon as Parliament opens, and all components of it will go to the Police Service Commission. I remember Guy Griffith has reapplied. So it's very interesting developments. Let me see. Let's see if I get him on the phone here. Let's see if I get him here. Because I want to find out about this public health emergency as well, declaring crime. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Stephan.
Hey, you're up early, man, as usual. Yeah. Well, you're live on Breaking Dawn. So I just want to ask you a few things here as it relates to what the Prime Minister had to say yesterday. And I don't know if you could help us with some answers as our former National Security Minister as well. But the first thing, as you would know, they say they're going to treat with crime as a public health emergency. So we could start there. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the first thing is that it's probably one of the dumbest comments I've ever heard in the fight against crime anywhere in the world. Because if that is the case, I mean, what is the intention here? Is the intention to try to find some avenue to have curfews based on using public health regulation? Because that is the only thing I could think of. To try to look at crime now as a disease and say that because this is a disease, we are going to look at it from a health perspective. I mean, it is ridiculous. It sums up the lack of concept that this government has in understanding how to fight crime. I mean, it even goes back to the comment made by the Prime Minister now that you're going to look back now to blame the parents, blame society, blame children, and not look at what has caused it. 8 months last year, Stephan, from January to August, when it is that crime was the number 4 concern in the country, we were going at 320 murders per annum, now we're going at close to over 600. What is the Prime Minister trying to say? That last year, parents were good parents, we had good schoolboys, we had good schoolgirls, that there would have been no situations of concern about society and the communities? No, it is because the Prime Minister and this government, they do not understand the concept of criminological theory. What governments do when they're unable to deal with crime, they throw it back on society, throw it back on the parents, throw it back on everyone else. So what he's doing now is going to the old-time excuse of saying, listen, let's go back to the basics and let's see what can be done to stop crime. This is known in criminological theory as secondary crime prevention, trying to find avenues to get young persons to turn away from the life of crime. This is what the police we were doing constantly through Crossroads, through Street Talk, through the Commissioner's Cup. So we were doing all of these things that were also shut down. And when it is a government puts focus on that, which is important, you are not going to see the results until about 10 years from now. What he's doing is a cop-out because he is unable, after calling Mr. Jacob and say, listen, what can we do? I don't know, sir. All right, so let's go back and blame society and parents and use that as the avenue for our focus. That is not going to stop 2 and 3 murders a day taking place right now for the next few years.
Right.
Because they are unable to understand what is known as primary crime prevention, which is hard targeting, law enforcement, policing, intelligence gathering, predictive policing, and that type of intelligence-driven policing. Those are the things that will cause crime to be reduced, which is what happened before.
Right.
But what he's doing now is trying to come with the concept of looking at what can stop crime. And had I been the Prime Minister, you're not going to have politicians try to let's all just gather together, sing Kumbaya and come up with a plan. No. This country, what I would have done is we have dozens of qualified criminologists, who some of them are even unemployed, and in developed countries, what these criminologists do is they go to the prisons, they speak to the prisoners, they speak to the young persons, they understand it. It is known as criminological theory, determinism, social approach, rational choice, situational approach.
Yeah.
All of these things I'm speaking about, Keith Rowley doesn't have a clue about. So you get to understand the cause of crime, what is causing persons to commit crime. That is how you deal with the problem if you want to look at secondary crime prevention.
Yeah, because I mentioned that a little while ago, because how many criminologists we have in the country? You said dozens, right? And
yes.
do any of these criminologists that we have in the country actually go into the prison and interview prisoners?
No, they don't. And the reason for this, Stephan, is because of the government's inability to understand the qualification and the ability and the importance of criminologists. So what the media do now is the only role and function of a criminologist in Trinidad and Tobago is to ask them about crime plans or to measure the performance of a commissioner of police. And it is comical. All over the world, persons come to me and say, why do you all use criminologists in interviews to ask about crime plans? A criminologist is not qualified for that. Not a crime plan, not to measure the performance of a commissioner of police, but they play a critical part to reduce crime. Instead of the government hiring the criminologists to do an in-depth analysis in the prisons, understand what is causing the high rate of recidivism, why it is that our rehabilitation is so poor, what is causing persons to turn to a life of crime. That is how you deal with the problem, not having several ministries bring them together, and then you have a Prime Minister making a ridiculous statement to say that crime is now a health issue.
And not only that, he said, this is the thing I wanted to find out as well. But I heard you say that they could use the Health Ordinance Act in terms of curfew and SOE. So I'm glad that you got that out here, because I was wondering if that is something that they could use, and you basically started off by saying, yes, that could happen. But here's the thing. You were the Commissioner of Police in the most recent times. You have also been a former National Security Minister. He said that crime was fueled by illegal quarrying. I'm confused.
Well, again, and it goes back to this Prime Minister works on whatever somebody whispers in his ear. That is how he operates, which is why in June last year, all the old talks he's fooling the country with about he lost confidence in me. He told the Attorney General, change the law because I cannot lose Gary Griffith. Somebody whispered in his ear and he took that as gospel. You can't run a government on rum shop talk. So somebody whispered that in his ear. What is his data to verify that is the catalyst towards the majority of crime? So we didn't have illegal quarrying when I was Commissioner of Police. So don't come with that, Keith Rowley. Stop using a cop-out. What has caused the drastic increase in crime is because you, Keith Rowley, made a decision to shut down and virtually cause Americans to be sabotaged for the country now to have Jacob imposed upon us as the Commissioner of Police. So to speak about illegal quarrying being the reason, what is the data that you will have that illegal quarrying has caused from 320 murders per annum up until August last year? We are now going at 600 because of illegal quarrying. What data do you have to say that? And this is where it is politicians, somebody just whispers in their ears, will whisper in their ears. And what is interesting though, and I will agree with, when he spoke about gang contracts,
yes.
After 3 years ago, when I challenged and I stated that the government is part of the problem by aiding and abetting in crime by providing state contracts to gang members who are using the profit not to help their community, but to try to put hits on other gang members to get their turf, to get their blocks, to get their state contracts. 3 years ago I said that, and now all of a sudden you now realize that this is an issue. You caused it because when you have been in government, this has continued with gang members getting state contracts, and that was a major aspect that caused crime to increase.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that on several occasions. It was ignored. But I agree with him there. I don't know where it's fueled by illegal quarrying, but I heard your response to that. The other thing I want to find out about very quickly here is the FUL report that he says he has. Now, you have reapplied, and I find it, very coincidental that upon your reapplication, now we have the report that was sent to the Prime Minister. He said that it is disturbing reading, is what he described it as, without going into details. And he said he's going to send it to the Police Service Commission. Now, if this report goes to the Police Service, now first off, do you have anything to worry about with this report?
No, the thing I have to worry about is that this country is getting to what the signs of what is known as creeping dictatorship. This is not a police state. What sums it up? This is the third time Keith Rowley is trying this cheap excuse to try to discredit persons. First he tried with the Barrington report, then it fell flat. The country laughed at him. You tried with the Stanley John report. The country laughed at you. You're coming again now with another report. On all three occasions, let me clarify Trinidad and Tobago, because I'm looking at some of the comments and people, unfortunately, because of ignorance and understanding our Constitution, politicians cannot handpick people who may be closely aligned to them, pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars, which means that you can actually twist and handpick certain things to get the report to how you want it, and then put it up and say, look what has been brought to my attention. What is different than to the opposition submitting or doing a report? Politicians cannot use civilians to be involved in law enforcement investigations. It's no longer an investigation. This Prime Minister continued to believe, as the chair of the National Security Council, he had operational authority in law enforcement. You do not. This is not a police state. So unless the police do an investigation and persons are charged, anything coming from politicians, it's a waste of time. This is Emailgate reloaded, Stephan. This is what he did in Emailgate. You stay in Parliament, hide behind Parliament like a coward, say the nastiest things about people, make the accusations, and you know you cannot be sued because you said, well, I got this piece of paper. This piece of paper he got, you handpicked civilians who were previous police officers for decades. So for decades, the same firearm problem was taking place. Why you handpick these specific police officers? And then you bring these officers, they submit a report, and then you feel that the country is so naive. Look what it says in this report. I dare Keith Rowley, I dare you, Keith. Say it outside of Parliament. Do not be a coward and go in Parliament to hide, to stop being sued, because that is what the PNM mantra is always that. Let us try to discredit you and lie as much as possible in the hope that the country will buy into it. And more importantly, let us look at the hypocrisy of Keith Rowley, because you're getting a report like this from civilians with no law enforcement authority who you hired, which means that you can actually direct them to publish what you want, and you're saying that this is disturbing news. But when special branch, that is a bona fide intelligence agency, submits a report on one of your own, you state, well, that is not evidence or fact and it cannot be used. This is the height of hypocrisy that we are seeing by our government and by our Prime Minister. If you do not want me as Gary Griffith to be appointed, do not use the Police Service Commission and do not use them as an excuse to try to influence them. You tried the first time in President's House by trying to use the President's House as a post office to push a piece of paper from one civilian who had no law enforcement authority. You got a naive chairman to take that beat. You're hoping now that you could do the same. Why did you send it to the Police Service Commission to influence them again? Why not send it to the DPP? Why not send it to the Police Complaint Authority? You know what you're doing, because you're hoping that the Police Service Commission could be naive and influential as the last chairman, so that the list would not be independent, but from an independent body. No. Somebody places on number one, you, Keith Rowley, disregard the voice of the people, disregard the fact that there's bloodshed in this country, disregard who might be the best person for the job, because you, Keith Rowley, say, I don't care what the country wants, I do not care what it is that is good for the country. I, Keith Rowley, do not like that person, and that is the way it is. That is not the type of person you need to lead a country.
Wow. No, but I saw that you all put out, you did write to the, have you written to the PSC on this matter?
Well, my attorneys, they wrote just to remind the Police Service Commission that under natural justice, politicians cannot handpick people, have them submit a report and send it to the Police Service Commission, and that could be used as an avenue to discredit anyone. Because, as I said, that piece of paper that was written by those persons who worked on behalf of the politicians is as valuable as the paper that came from Ballingsley House. So it cannot be used, especially in the fact that this was so pathetic. This so-called investigation by Stanley John, because remember this Stanley John dinosaurs years because he stated that how I was militarizing the country when I was providing firearms for law-abiding citizens to be protected from criminal elements because the state could not defend them. He stated that this was wrong, and now you're coming back again, Keith, to bring in something else. If it's not more, at no time this was sent to me, because if it was sent to me, I would have showed them everything you have stated is a lie, because Gary Griffith was the first commissioner that ever opened the Pandora's box to put an end to this. He was the one who put 14 policies in place. He's the one who put an FUL card with a chip, because we found out that there were fake FUL books. All of these things have been conveniently shut down because the mafia within the police service, as small as it is, wanted to get back their big corrupt activities in the FUL department. And they whispered to the right politicians, and the politicians took the bait. So you cannot try to discredit anyone unless you speak to the person and say, this is what we've been told. But everything in the Barrington, the Stanley John report, and these 3 retirees who were handpicked by politicians, everything in this report, it is alleged, it is rumored, and we've been told. That is typical of the PNM playbook. You say the same lie over and over and hope that the country will believe it. The country has not believed it.
All right, so any closing comments or advice to the population in terms of the crime situation? Because a lot of people, I saw in terms of the FUL, and I remember you in one of your first press conferences, like a real big press conference, I remember you brought up that issue and you said it publicly on several occasions. If you have applied for a FUL, do not pay. If anybody come and ask you for money, do not pay. You stressed on that on several occasions. And you also, I remember you speaking about that particular issue with FULs, and that you were trying to get the little rogue elements out, all the little rogue officers that run in the little racket with that. And you were very proactive as it relates to that. So this is where this report kind of confuses me as to how it's going to discredit you when, from the word go, you were the person that actually, like you said, opened the Pandora's box as it relates to FULs. And you granted quite a few. And when I look yesterday and I saw, you must have seen the video where the businessman was shot in Arima. It's real. And a lot of business people, they need firearm. And I do not think that a crime has been committed by somebody holding a legal firearm to date. Would I be correct in saying that? I can't recall any legal firearm committing a crime in the country.
Yeah, all right. So again, to clarify, before me, firearms were being given out based on who was a friend who was paying for certain police officers, and because of that, the wrong persons would have been getting firearms. So we had legal firearms being issued. Persons were losing their firearms, they were intoxicated and will forget it somewhere. They will use it to commit a crime, they will fire it somewhere out of fun. In the 5,000 firearms issued by Gary Griffith in my 3 years, not one was lost, not one was stolen, not one was used to commit a crime, not one was used to commit a murder. 100% of all murders by firearms in the last 4 years were by illegal firearms. But this government has directed the police to spend more resources, use more time, use more police officers in trying to find something on legal firearms being issued than they have spent on trying to find and stop illegal firearms from entering the country. That is the type of government that we have. Because of the desperation to say, look, we have to find a way to try to see if we could smear Gary Griffith. It has not worked. The country will recall, I was the one who dealt with it. I dealt with every aspect of corruption in the police service, from putting $140 million reduction in overtime corruption, from police officers using police vehicles to escort and to cover drug blocks and have them either suspended or to be removed. And then with the firearm situation, as soon as I picked it up, I brought it to the attention of the public. I pleaded with the public. This is what I have done. By me stepping on toes by the criminal elements in the police service, as small as they were, I stepped on toes, and these elements had the ears of certain politicians. So by them whispering to politicians, the politicians, as naive as they were, took the bait, and the country is now paying the price. Because I could tell you, even that FUL card, it had a chip. His trip was to ensure that a person would not be able to, what was happening before, persons getting several firearms without the commissioner knowing, because he will just be signing one document that comes to him. He's not going to remember that this man got a firearm 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It was, the trip will also ensure that you can't have a fake book, that you could take a book from the printer and just and forge his signature so you could have an illegal firearm.
Right.
Mr. Jacob removed that immediately, not because he's involved, but because he was naive to take the bait. And he said, look, anything Gary Griffith put, let us remove. So, again, going back to the main point, Stephan, by me stepping on toes and doing what was required, the individuals who were affected by the big criminal enterprise in and out of the police service, they have the ears of politicians. So what, again, going back to the main point, you as a prime minister cannot be handpicking civilians, appointing them, having them submit a report. You pay them big money and then say, look at what is in this report. It is disturbing. But it wasn't disturbing to you when Special Branch submits a report that is a bona fide agency on one of your own, and then you conveniently say, well, that is not evidence or fact, I can't use it. Why? Ask the country to think. Why would you want to go into Parliament to mention this? Because you want to hide. I challenge you, say what you have to say outside of Parliament. Be a man for once and say what you have to say. But you want to hide in Parliament to try to hope that, look, I could use this to try to get the whole country is the one Gary as commissioner. If Gary comes first, it will affect me politically. So let me try something to see that I could destroy Gary Griffith's credibility. It has not worked. It has failed miserably. And the more he does that, the more it will show the credibility of the individual. You cannot be trying to spend so much time discrediting a human being, and your hate for Gary Griffith is irrelevant. The country has asked for something. You have seen what is happening. You have seen the bloodshed. And in your little world, you don't care about anything else other than what Keith Rowley wants. You cannot be a servant to the people unless you adhere to the will of the people.
Ah, boy. Well, Mr. Griffith, we're out of time, but thanks a lot for your comments and your commentary on some of the things that are taking place and some of the things that were said yesterday at the press conference. Thanks a lot. Yeah. All right. So that's Gary Griffith there. Interesting. Because I'm reading the article here. We got to go to the break and get the Setwayo aboard. I want to thank Gary Griffith for taking the call. Because he did say it here, that he would lay it in Parliament in summary form. So Gary Griffith is daring him now, say it outside of Parliament, because of course you have parliamentary privilege. All right? So parliamentary privilege protects them, from, lawsuits and things of that nature. It's going to be interesting because if it's a disturbing report, then why not release it? And I'm sure that, like with everything else, I am pretty much sure, like everything else, this report, like the others before it, would probably be leaked to the media at some point in time. Somebody gonna leak it. All these reports just get leaked at the end of the day, right? But on crime as a public health emergency, Gary Griffith did say the only thing he could think of is if you're going to use the Health Ordinance Act to declare state of emergency and implement curfews. That's the only thing he could think of in terms of declaring it a public health emergency. And I just wanted to know if that was actually possible, which apparently it is. And of course, crime being fueled by illegal quarrying. It's a lot deeper than that. And I think our leaders need to understand that. And like he said, criminologists need to go into the prison and pick the minds of the criminal element and find out why they commit the crime. Until we start there, I don't think we headed anywhere. You know what I mean? And we have to have somebody competent at the head. So I wait to see what's going to take place, because he has reapplied for the post based on the public advising him to apply. And if he finishes top of the list and they reject him again, well, I don't know where we go from there. But we got to get to Setwayo aboard. So I got to take a break. When I come back from the break, we'll have Seto and we're dealing with alcohol. Stay tuned.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, Like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. And the kids, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Introducing Ultra Clean Surface Sanitizer Spray. Ultra Clean effectively disinfects non-porous surfaces and kills 99.9% of bacteria, viruses, mold, and fungus that can lead to diseases. Ultra Clean comes in 2 amazing scents, fresh linen or citrus, that can effectively deodorize stubborn and unpleasant odor. Ultra Clean contains 2 of the active ingredients effective on surfaces to protect against COVID-19. Manufactured and distributed by VNS Pharmaceuticals Limited and available at pharmacies and other retail outlets nationwide. Ultra Clean Surface Sanitizer Spray disinfects and deodorizes. So now you can stay clean with Ultra Clean.
Come down to Adams Optical, where we offer free comprehensive eye exams, and you can also get full single vision or bifocal glasses for only $5.95. We have a wide selection of frames and shades for everyone, and we specialize in contact lens examination. Find us on Facebook or visit us in store.
Adams Optical.
Bowlers Motorworks Limited, your authorized collision repair center with over 30 years of collision experience. We are a supplier of new, original pickup parts for that perfect lining up every time. We have the tooling and equipment for lining up of your chassis and body panels to precision. Our employees have been well trained and are always motivated to deliver the highest quality repair, smoothing out those imperfections, expertly masking and protecting unpainted areas, sealing and priming after applying base coat and clear coat. Always giving you high glossy finishes for that spray boot factory look. With our experts in buffing and detailing, you are guaranteed of that showroom feel. Bowlers Motorworks Limited Gasparillo for that assurance of quality every time.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Leisha high quality, unbleached, bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Leisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Leisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Leisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
Downers Educational Institute is the top private school in Trinidad and Tobago with 35 years experience and a tremendous student success. One of the most trusted education providers in the industry. Downers offers full-time day school classes for forms 1 to 5 and evening classes for primary level standards 2 to 5, secondary level forms 1 to 5 and also classes for adults and repeaters. They cover the business and the science subjects for CSEC and are one of the few private schools that offer the science subjects physics, chemistry and biology. Online classes are currently being offered in all areas, as Downers Educational is flexible and can adjust from online school but will currently provide both options. They also offer affordable pricing and flexible payment plans. Downers Educational, located at number 92 Charlotte Street, Port of Spain. Call 627-9491 or WhatsApp 737-8006 and 471-0477. Visit their website, downerseducationalinstitute.com. Email downersedu@gmail.com or find them on Facebook at Downers Educational Institute. Downers Educational, offering success through education.
Let me tell you a story about folk, heritage, color, music, food, movement, people, and vibe. Crop over, the world's biggest playground. We love Crop Over.
Don't expect no more than what we already have.
So Crop Over.
Friday, October 7th is the night for Pan Inside Miami Carnival 2022 with a showcase of steel bands from across the globe, including Japan, Brooklyn, New York, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, Boston, Orlando, Atlanta, and of course Trinidad and Tobago. All this along with one full night of steel band competition. Friday, October 7th, it's Panorama Night inside Miami Carnival 2022. For all details, including ticket info, log on to miamicarnival.org or find them on all social media platforms.
Nabby's Trading Company Limited, dedicated to providing time-honored medical supplies and pharmaceuticals. They offer numerous products in general healthcare, such as breathing apparatus in the form of oxygen concentrators and mesh nebulizers, needles, syringes, and injectables. Also at Nabby's, you will find a wide range of home healthcare products such as commodes, wheelchairs, and diagnostic machines. They even have surgical consumables, specialized women products, and rehabilitation aids for all your needs. Doctors and nurses can also find products for their use at Nabby's. Nabby's Trading Company Limited is also the distributor for the Cook medical line of products within the Caribbean, which offers the use of minimally invasive devices for surgeries. You can now purchase from Nabby's Trading Company Limited via the website www.ntcltdtt.com for pickup at their showroom at number 5 to 6 Harris Street in Curepe, or for delivery via TT Post. Find them on Facebook for immediate contact and update, or call today at 645-5577 or 662-7533. Nabby's Trading Company Limited, your trusted provider for all medical supplies and pharmaceuticals.
All right, people, so we're back, and we have Seth Weil aboard with us this morning, as usual, on a Tuesday. We're going to get into a little conversation with him about alcohol. Alcohol. You know, Trinidad is a drinking society, and we have a lot of festivals to keep us drinking. So, Seth, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Now, just to be clear, last week we dealt with fermented drinks.
Yes.
Correct? And this is kind of
because
part
alcohol,
two,
yeah.
going into
basically
alcohol. Yeah. So let's
but
talk
look at
about
the
alcohol.
fermented drinks that look at the fermented drinks that many people associate with having health benefits. So you want to look at the real fermented drink that most people know about, which is ethanol or alcohol, and how it affects the human body. All right. Now the reason why I chose this topic too, because of course, you know, I like to use latest data and latest statistics.
Right.
So I'll just share my screen to give us a little idea of you know, the latest that came out, which was on, of course, for those that may want to argue, it's peer-reviewed publication by the Lancet, all right, and it was released on the 14th of July.
What is that, Lancet report?
2022.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is Lancet. All right, as you can see what the heading says here, alcohol consumption carries significant health risks and no benefit for young people. Some older adults may benefit from drinking a small amount of alcohol. All right, so like I tell people, you want to read the whole thing, you can always send me a message. I would send me a message on WhatsApp. I would forward you.
But hold on 1 second here. I'm confused. Alcohol consumption carries significant health risks and no benefits for young people. Some older adults may benefit from drinking a small amount of alcohol.
Right. So that there are other reports that shows that there are no benefits across all ages.
Okay.
But I'll explain when they say some older adults may benefit from drinking small amounts of alcohol. And that has to do with those that don't have any underlying issues. Now, I mentioned last week that only in the US population, only 12% of the entire population has a properly functioning metabolic system.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's only people with no underlying health issues. In other words, people that have a properly functioning metabolic system, which means only about 12% of the population has a properly functioning metabolic system. So they may be the only people that when they drink a small amount, mind you, a small amount is less than half a drink. Right? Right? Less than half a drink to up to about a little more than 1.5 glasses of wine or or a beer, right? Or not even 2 beers, less than that. that is what they say would give some sort of small benefit to somebody with a properly functioning metabolic system. And I just say, when it comes to Trinidad, assume everybody do not have a properly functioning metabolic system.
Right.
So in our culture, basically there is no benefit to the consumption of alcohol, all right? And the age bracket between 15 to 39 years, they made up the majority of drinkers, right? But they make up 59.1% of the people consuming high levels or dangerous levels of alcohol, and it increases their risk for accidents, for suicides, and for homicides, right? So drinkers, and the vast majority are men, making up 76.7%, right? 76.7% drinking high volumes of alcohol. Now what I want to go into is just quickly explain a little bit of what alcohol does to the system, because you might hear these data and you're still saying,
we ain't sure, yeah, because we like to drink too. Yeah. Remember, we're a drinking society by nature.
Yeah, so you might hear this and say, yeah, them just can't hold the liquor, but we don't understand what alcohol does to the body. The moment you drink alcohol, some of it, a small amount, is absorbed by your tongue and the mucosal membranes and stuff in the mouth, right? Now, that is actually, that little absorption that takes place there, that is actually what causes things like oral cancers. And as the alcohol goes down your system, it damages stuff like the esophagus, the larynx, the pharynx. And those are things what cause those cancers in the larynx and pharynx. When it's going down the esophagus now, it can damage that and cause cancer there as well. And when it enters your system, because your body views alcohol, ethanol, as a toxin, right? So it tells itself, I must try to metabolize this as quickly as possible, ASAP. So when food goes into your stomach, it usually goes through with digestive juices and whatnot, and then it's transported into your intestines for absorption into your bloodstream, not alcohol. Alcohol, as soon as it hits the stomach, if it touches the wall, your body starts absorbing it into your bloodstream one time. Reason being, it is trying to take it to your liver to try to neutralize it, right? Because it is classed as a poison. Your body prioritizes alcohol over everything else because it is that toxic. Now, when it goes into your bloodstream, of course, within 90 seconds, your blood goes through all your organs, your entire body. So you could start feeling the effects of alcohol within 15 to 45 minutes, all right? These effects are not good effects. Of course, you might say, if you're a little tipsy and you think it's a nice thing, the only benefit people might say that they're really getting from alcohol is not a health benefit, and it might be a social benefit. You might feel a little more freer to socialize and interact.
Your nerves are a little settled, right? It settles your nerves a little more because, you know, that kind of thing,
But we don't understand why that is happening is because it is damaging, right? So when it goes to the liver, your liver would release dehydrogenase, right, to try to help metabolize or break down this alcohol. So it produces what they call acetaldehyde, right? Acetaldehyde is very toxic, right? Now your body tries to break that down by producing alcoholic dehydrogenase, and then you produce alcohol acetaldehyde, and you try to break that down and to get it down into a form of acetate that is non-harmful. Your body tries to do this as quickly as possible. It also utilizes glutathione, which is one of your body's top antioxidants, to try to neutralize the alcohol. And because of that, it uses up, based on how much you drink, it uses up the glutathione. Right. And that glutathione deficiency actually increases aging. So alcohol ages you a lot faster, all right? Because that is the number one antioxidant in the body. Well, I would say number two when we look at what subcellular melatonin does to the body, but that's a different topic. But that you now have a deficiency of glutathione. When that happens now, your body, during that deficiency state, it's going to try to do a lot of stuff to try to build it back up, all right? But that causes issues. You are no longer able to reach deep sleep until your body gets that alcohol out of your system.
And I wanna,
now you might say, well, if you drink,
I want to ask you something. You said
Mm-hmm.
the alcohol, it goes straight to your liver, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Coconut water. I just want to bring in the chasers here now. Because we're talking about alcohol, but most people chase alcohol with something. Some people will chase vodka with cranberry juice like myself, when I decide to take a drink of vodka. Some people take rum and chase it with Cokes or Sprite or ginger ale. And some people take scotch and will chase it with soda or coconut water. Now, coconut water is interesting to me because they say coconut water is the best chaser, but coconut water goes somewhere as well. Not so?
Yeah, it goes through your system as well. Now, people looking at things that what could help the body recover faster from alcohol.
Right.
And I'm trying to find the aspect of this. In fact, I have another paper, and it shows that there is absolutely nothing that could quicken how your body eliminates or neutralizes alcohol.
Okay.
Nothing you consume it with. What happens to a lot of people? Remember, some people say if you drink coffee, that could help with that, right? It's not that. It's that the or energy drinks. These things can. It's not that. Those energy drinks.
Some people will chase for an energy drink, yeah.
Exactly. It gives you a boost of energy, so you feel less sleepy. That gives people the impression that they are less drunk when they aren't. Right? This is why people would use those things and still get in accidents.
Yeah.
Right? And still end up in depression. Could go and still commit suicide and all these stuff because of the fact that it just gives them a little more energy. And we mistake that energy as, oh, I'm getting more sober. So that is not the case. Now, like it said, anybody under the age of 40, there is zero health benefits for the consumption of alcohol.
No.
Zero, none whatsoever, only health risks. Over the age of 40, if you're going at the US population, only 12% of the US population over the age of 40, if they're drinking about half a glass to about 1.5 glasses of wine, to say that's like, so you could get an average, only that 12% that have proper metabolic health, they're the only people that would get a small benefit from it. Everybody else, it works in the negative, right? Now, people are going to find this hard to believe, but alcohol is a poison. Right? The reason why it goes straight to your liver, enters the bloodstream from the stomach walls, right? Imagine the stomach walls is absorbing it because it's not even trying to get it to go through the digestive system. Right. Of course, it would still go through the digestive system, the intestines, all right? And of course, causes damage as it's going. It tries to get it to your liver as soon as possible. Anything you consume, and it's trying to send it to your liver as soon as possible because the liver is what deals with toxins in the body. It means it is very harmful to your body. Now, once alcohol touches the wall of your stomach, though your stomach would absorb it to the liver, it causes an over-secretion of hydrochloric acid. This is why people suffer with stuff like acid reflux.
Yeah.
And ulcerated stomach because the acid now is way too much that is going to enter the stomach and it's going to start to damage the walls of the stomach. You're going to get acid going back up through the esophagus and going to start with acid reflux, which is hydrochloric acid is very strong and that's going to burn the esophageal pathway.
We just got a few seconds left, but did we ever speak about acid reflux?
Yes, we spoke about that
All right.
before,
yeah.
right? But we spoke about the acid reflux, not from the use of alcohol. Same way, alcohol can cause fatty liver disease because when it goes to the liver, it damages the liver, it causes stenosis in the liver as well, which causes a buildup of fat in the liver, right? So alcohol just damages everything that it makes contact with, and we have to be aware of that. And it's better to stop drinking than trying to drink to just look social. When I go out, I remember I was on your boat, right? A guy came up to me and asked me what I'm drinking. That's club soda. Right?
Yeah, you don't drink club soda, you know. Club soda, you know. I don't know anybody else. Why club soda? Why club soda?
Right, because it's not empty water. Right? It's not empty water. It has some salt and potassium and stuff in it. Right? So either I would drink mineral water or club soda. I don't drink regular water or bottled water because it's empty. So it robs the body of nutrients. That's something a lot of people don't know. Right? It don't have empty water in nature. You'll never find empty water in nature. Water in nature always have some sort of minerals or salt in it. Right? Even trace amounts. But bottled water is usually empty. All right. Okay. So I stay away from those. I gotta change what I drink on our morning now, boy. But we out of time. We out of time. But
But if you want more information from Seth on alcohol, because I'm not too sure if we touch on alcohol and the diabetes rate in Trinidad and Tobago, because I truly believe that the majority of people that suffer from diabetes in Trinidad and Tobago drink or consume a certain amount of alcohol on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So I think alcohol is a factor. We always talk about sugar, but just sugar in the meal.
But alcohol is a sugar.
Right.
It's just a fermented sugar.
Correct.
Right?
But we don't
It's a
usually
fermented
zone
sugar.
in, when we're talking about diabetes, people don't really focus on the alcohol aspect and how much that contributes to diabetes. But
Diabetes, and not just diabetes, but all metabolic disorders. Almost all diseases.
So anybody want more information, you could call Seth on 761-1952. That is 761-1952. Or you can check him out at Seth YO Fitness Enterprise. Seth, thanks a lot for joining us this Tuesday, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right,
this
man.
morning.
All right, so with that, we got to wrap up for this morning. Director and I we opened a box of the Ocho. Ocho, it isn't good, boy. I didn't know they have it in like a variety pack. I thought it was like a one flavor now. But yeah. Huh? Yeah, let's get to the birthday. All right, and you could get a box of Ocho for the person celebrating the birthday. It's a terrific gift. All right, so a very happy birthday to Mr. Keon Stewart from his loving wife, Varnell. His 3 fun-loving children, Sham, Shaq, and Mayam. And father-in-law and mother-in-law, Vern and Verena. Sisters-in-law, Vala and Varna. Natasha, brothers-in-law, Viran and Verlan. Aunts-in-law, Jenny, Daphne, and Patsy. Cousins-in-law, Damien, Sasha, Jamal, and Giselle. And all the rest of the family wishing you all God's richest blessings on this day and always. And have a great day and enjoyable day. Expect the unexpected. And I also have to say a happy birthday to my cousin Jaden. That's right. Jaden Engliang. All right. Jaden celebrated his birthday on Sunday, so happy belated birthday. And I understand you have your own phone now, and your mother done send me your number. All right, cool, man. So I'll tell you what, people, we wrap things up for today. We want to thank Gary Griffith for joining us. We want to thank you for your calls and your comments. Tomorrow, of course, will be Wednesday. We will have Barbados will join us. We have our good friends from Cropover. They'll join us to give us a little insight as to how the Cropover is going, because there are great things happening in other parts of the world. And we have Inspector Pitt. I will call Inspector Pitt and see if we can move him up to the first hour, and we will deal with some of the other things that were said in the press conference yesterday. I actually have a clip of something that was said that will blow your mind. So until tomorrow, people, have a safe day, have a productive day. Stay safe.
Next Bakes, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week at South Haven, baby. Next Bakes, we have the bakes for you. So come try our menu.
Yeah, we got chicken and chips, ice cap, refreshers, waffles on a stick. We got shark and salmon, shrimp, lobster, and the kingfish. Just come take a taste of the sweet life. Come send your taste buds to paradise. Hey, it only takes one bite, yeah.
Next Bakes, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week at South Haven, baby. Next Bakes, we have the bakes for you. So come try
this
our
is
menu.
alongside Chalana,
representing for Next Bakes.
Okay.
Free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Freedom to buy Dr. Love health products and services over $300 and get 1 bottle of Colorado Silver Valley $200 free.
So a lot of you guys are asking, what is ED and how do I know I have ED? A lot of times, the reason why you guys have ED is because of plaque buildup. A great way to help break down this plaque is by shockwave therapy.
Welcome to TNT's first erectile dysfunction treatment center, using the world's best low-intensity shockwave therapy and male enhancement. Also male and female pain relief applied by our qualified nurses. Introducing ChiliBabyCaribbean.com, an online digital directory using any smart device. Businesses, tradesmen, buying, selling, auctioning, and renting hotels and guest houses. Also real estate, vehicles, furniture, and household appliances. Registration free. ChiliBabyCaribbean.com. Dr. Love Rebirth Center, PTSD Transit Mall, San Juan, with branches nationwide. Call 366-4058 or 478-9222.
In 2023, we get ready for Vetopia, the ultimate carnival on the sea. All-inclusive cruise. We leave from New York City on April 16th and head all the way to Bermuda and return on April 23rd. Performing live, Tamika Marshall, Niall Blackman, Skinny Patrick, Irvin Al, Mandela Lynch, and Problem Child. Some of the wonderful events that await you on board: the meet and greet, the Hawaiian pool party, neon meets white party, carnival costume party, Juve party, the retro party, Rip the Runway Gala, and Flag Party. For more information, call 954-385-0504 or 646-309-6089. We leave from New York City and head all the way to Bermuda 2023. Vetopia. Book now at www.vetopia.com.
Good morning. Welcome to Breaking Dawn.